times I prevail. Satan on my trail. I got God, I'm doing well. Had to tell myself, I ain't taking no more L. Winning season, 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 winning season. It's coming, I believe it, huh? Watch it leave me speechless, huh? It's my winning season, huh? Flexing on my demons, huh? Knew the Lord was scheming, wasn't down for no reason, huh? My mood this whole season, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, and I came from the bottom of the pot. When I got saved, I was on the block. I got locked with bags in my sock. I got bagged by undercover cops. Up the street from the parking lot. On the way to the barber shop. I'm just grateful that I made it out. Ain't see myself off the paper route. Still got homies living in the trenches. I feed homeless women on the benches. We treat all year like Thanksgiving. On the block, I made a great decision. There's somebody tell me I ain't winning. I got youngers changing how they feeling. Instead of telling them to stop sinning, I just show a better way of living. They still dug a 12. Still bust shells, still bust sales. Look at them numbers on the scale. Me, I'm dug in hell. Try all the what I feel. I say I turn a wheel when I win my life on the scale. Went from dug in 12, now I'm dug in hell. Many times I fail, many times I prevail. Satan on my trail, I got God, I'm doing well. Had to tell myself, I ain't taking no more L. Winning season, winning season, winning season. Winning season, 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 winning season. I had to trust you for this, yeah. I had to pray, then I had to get it, man. I had to hustle for this, yeah. I go astray, get stuck in my way, but you know I love you for this, yeah. Stay in my lane and trust in your ways, man. That's what I must do for this, yeah. That's what I must do for this. Only way to run it up. Gotta trust in number one. I don't do no runner ups. Can't you see me coming up? Might be down, but my winning season coming up. This is labor, this is work. This is labor when it's tough. You put your faith in the world. You lost me trusting in luck. This is favor, this is trust. This is favor, this is love. Great connection with the plug. Everybody getting high. You ain't never had this drug. I done been through the fire. I done been through the mud. I done fought through the lies. I been lied to by blood. I forgave a couple guys. They were showing fake love. I done still came up. Pull up. Hey, I'm ducking my set. I got that piece of me, that's for that. I got the Jesus piece of me.
42 years old can't grow no whole beard. I ain't worried about
Good afternoon. ABX is in the building. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
The gifted audience driven is back. How y'all feeling?
Great. It's Sunday.
Awesome.
First and foremost, God.
What's going on, man?
What you do, brother?
A little hungover, but I'm here.
We all celebrating a little bit. Craziness is going on. We ain't gonna get into all that. Just be safe down and help. Getting right to it. Sis.
Yes. I'm blessed today. Did that birthday Bugsy party last night at the Hampton conference.
I saw two's. Shout out to Mon too.
Mitch Craft.
Mitch Craft, baby.
Let's give it Mitch Craft.
Yeah, he got us. Yeah, we appreciate you. But yeah, I saw his
live. Was it live? Yeah. They 250 people in there. The FG came, blessed the stage, blessed the the place. It was good. It was a good party. That junkyard crowd is different.
I heard when
they got some
bad.
They just
They was in here for the beach show too. They talking about how they was going to set everything on fire Saturday, so I was pretty sure that was going to happen.
It was a small little handicap fight. Lesbians too. I said, oh God, everybody step back. They lesbian and handicap. That was small. You hear me say?
I mean, no disrespect. Handicaps mean though, man.
That's why I told her. I said, back up because the strip is in the other side. The word on there dangling.
I know where we go from there. We have a librarian on Sunday.
Put your glasses down.
Thank you, Dr. Umar. Nothing much, man. What's happening, man? I ain't seen you all week.
I know, man. In the Capitol.
I've been in the empty building all week, man. I made 2 omelets and a pancake the whole week, man. It's been okay. I've been standing around. No, not at all. I mean, not where I'm at. Maybe if you up in the top of the Capitol, but yeah, they got us down by the boiler room, so yeah, we ain't got no ventilation.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, Mom.
How was your week? Well, I think I know how your week was.
It's wonderful.
Well, let us know how your week was. You know.
I enjoyed my grandbabies this weekend. I
Okay.
talked to friends and prayed with them, and we talk about what's going on. And we have to realize there's nothing I could do about it but pray and do what I'm supposed to do to keep my family safe and keep me healthy. And and that is, we're just out here.
Yeah. Okay, Mom. Out here.
Yeah, we out here. She said she wants her grandkids, not me. Not me though.
So, you got your kids on the block?
This is my time, sir. Library, Mr. Library.
Learning something about technology is playing a big part in this corona disease, but I'm gonna let Stan discuss that. Virus.
Yeah.
Yes, virus, disease, or whatever, because it's taking you out of the disease.
We've had so many of them though, like
we just
epidemic situations. I don't know if I'm excited or. I mean, Stan. I'm looking at Stan for this enlightenment. Everybody else can shut up. I know Stan knows. Stan been new.
Before we get started,
Okay.
Jade.
What up, Jake?
Why she looks so? Well, she mad. What you done done?
She got her sticker.
She's not on the front panel.
Oh, did you see
Did
that face?
she want to sit on my lap? I got room and space.
You gonna need to get an LOL doll after this show, foot. You gonna make it up to her right off the bat.
Big O.
Oh, she wants to stay on the front.
Birthday boy. Now he got a birthday tomorrow, y'all.
Hey, happy birthday.
Birthday.
Got you on live. Say happy birthday. Okay, all right.
He's
How old you turn, cuz? 38. Okay. I'm 38, baby.
Yeah, I about to say.
I got on my day was for the win. All right. Slick.
Tables next weekend, man. We're gonna do it big.
Okay.
You got sanitize them tables? Okay, I just want to make sure, man. I love you, man.
We're gonna do it big.
Look good, sanitizer. Man, y'all come up, Walker T. Daniels, man, get y'all books, man.
my man, Black Man. Gracious with his presence today. What's going on?
What's good, Fire?
Box, man. Come and bless. Got something good going. I had to come and see for my own eyes.
Of course.
What's up, bro?
Cool.
Sandbox right there, notice, man.
Appreciate the vibes.
No.
How you like that drink? Did he mix it up for
Oh,
you?
man,
Dude,
that's my
man.
new blend
Say
right now.
That's what I said
Blend.
too. 2020.
He done hit me some.
Let me see the color. What he do with you?
That dude say,
Did say what?
dude say simply lemonade.
Only simply though, right?
Iced tea lemonade mix.
What you
Simply
think, Black?
lemonade.
It's
That
good.
dude say, man.
It's my jump too. Look,
I love it.
he been hiding behind you. New blend, y'all.
The stand spot can't be up for her. They gotta give me stand spot.
It's like
Compromise the trap house, man.
tastes like that back wall of the vagina. You know that extra, the back sweet part. I told y'all that Jimmy doesn't drink. I only smoke.
Yes, stand up, man, please.
Please enlighten us, man. This thing, y'all.
Man, my week was good, man. Chilling, working, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Corner
Moors.
Yeah,
Corner
We
Moors.
stay in that corner all week
Yeah,
long.
man, we avoiding all
Show
that
up.
panic. and
Corner
fear all
Moors.
2020. Yeah.
Bodega, that's what I'm saying. Corner boy.
Nephew.
What up?
Island.
Black Tony.
They finally got me off the island.
Okay. Gilligan.
On the mainland.
Right.
Don't worry about it, but your show not canceled.
Nope.
Let
Never.
them know. Al.
Never gonna be
He a
canceled.
He done made the table. Yeah, can we give him a round of He done made
I
the
made the
table.
But we gonna get his but I think his island is under reservation because we said we were gonna get him a
Oh yeah.
palm tree.
Yeah.
We got you.
We so-
Next
so-
week he gonna be good. I got you.
So quick.
Ox and crabs.
We-
Probably. So it'll be a marijuana tree. Marijuana island. He gave me the And I'm 40, so I'm 40 years old.
I told y'all we was gonna be celebrating all but I don't know. But nevertheless, man.
Number 1 birthday month, man.
Yeah.
That is celebrating.
Oh yeah, man.
March
Birthday.
March baby.
I don't know. January, I thought was the best month. Let's don't talk about that. You know.
Here's tomorrow. I'm
Dang.
out first.
Wife, you ended up
28th. Yeah.
28th.
Yeah.
Number 1
And then
birthday
baby girls,
month.
hers 420.
I don't know what kind of party she gonna have.
Real party for the right way.
The right way.
Hey, I got you. What you say, boo?
You gonna be
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
You gotta smile when you say
that's
five.
it. Let's get out with the shouts out. Fox Wade, Reggie, we appreciate you. Y'all can connect to the bridge. Wouldn't be here without you. As I said already, even in Mitchcraft for Montu, we appreciate you. We love you, baby.
No question.
Thank you. Them goddamn fans understands.
Capri. I
Please.
seen her this morning.
Yeah.
She was in the warehouse. I seen. Yep, she was standing there.
Our
Baby mama crew.
Yeah, there you go. Our mamas. Baby mamas.
Yeah, I got baby mamas. Anybody else got baby mamas?
Not me.
Everybody, shout out to the baby mamas, man.
I got a couple of baby dolls out. The old Bob. They up in the case at this time. Playboy. Yeah, a couple of baby dolls, man. I ain't lying.
Second that shout out to the fans, man.
Okay.
They went out, copped their own gear. They want me to come out and shoot them live. You know what I'm saying? You get a lot of respect from the engineers.
Right.
You go get your own gear, your own microphones, and I ain't got to do all that for you. So
That's fine. Hey, that's how females should do. You gotta have a woman on your team. If you don't have a woman on your team, that's nothing. A team,
perfect segue. I just want to throw that out there.
Perfect segue.
throw it out there.
Perfect segue to our special guest, the family, my brother, Doc.
What's going on, man?
It's good, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already know, man. Just trying to stay safe and, through all this madness and just enjoying this little bit of time to just stay home with the family, man.
So I didn't normally I have like a topic to throw out, but like a lot of people don't know we go so far back.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk because some stuff we used to do back when.
Oh, yeah.
You could come through stuff. So listen, first off, I didn't know this man. I met this man in 1999.
Yeah.
Sports Authority.
Yeah.
Way back.
Yeah.
Young teenage idiots
Yeah.
having fun.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't have kept our jobs as long as we did.
You work at Sports Authority?
Yeah.
I ain't never get no discount or nothing. I knew you were 99.
Did
Did you get a discount? Did you get a discount? I want y'all to know that he went and got a job. We can give everybody a homie discount and get us all. No wonder why he had all the joints to himself.
I can't have you just come out.
His footwear was proper though.
That's what I'm saying.
His footwear was proper.
Quiet.
in the book bag.
Footwear was proper.
We would have came in there and walked out with everything.
The Sports Authority got all the regular shit. It's like a dollar store. You can't get no dub,
Nah, back then.
We worked in the shoe department.
Back then, Sports Authority used to carry everything.
New bag.
So the Jordans and everything.
Yeah, you're right.
We used to find them joints in the shipment. One day they told us
Ain't
to
nobody
do
gonna
the
hack at your market no shoes.
This ain't 93. Sports Authority. I'm not figuring it out.
Y'all gotta get hip. So let's to the story.
I am about Sports Authority. Go ahead.
Somebody better come on.
I'm done with that. Sports Authority. Go ahead, man.
We used to, the manager, Alex, the foot department. Footwear department. He told us to do the shipping one day, and we got hit. That was the day we got hit. So when that day we got hit, we actually were the same size.
Yeah.
64? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you know they only get 2 size 13, so it was never no 13s going in the wall.
Oh,
so everything, the Jordans or whatever came out, it started from 12 on down because the 13s, we was getting that's on the shipment, so nobody ever knew. So at one point in time, Alex was like, I thought, we was getting 13s.
They never made it on the floor.
Y'all keep getting the same.
But they messed up that day that they told us to go ahead and do that shipment. They sent us in the back room, and like the shipment was stacked all the way up to the ceiling. And we like, what are we supposed to do? Well, you gotta get a ladder and break it down. So we like, all right, get up there, get the ladder, start breaking everything down. I looked, I was like, hey, the new Jordan that comes out in like a month, it's in here. It was like, nah. I was like, nah, it is. Started going, found one pair, opened it up. We was like, let's go ahead, go back on the floor right now and pay for it. Because we had like some type of discount they gave us for doing this overtime and all this. So this Jordan, it doesn't come out for a whole nother month. We ended up getting it a month early. And I think we paid like $100 or something crazy for it.
How I got everything before
I know.
I remember like everybody.
Somewhere was prominent though. It stayed prominent.
You just heard.
How you pay for the month early? And then they actually no way to ring it up. What was they ring it up?
We had the link.
Y'all want to connect. How you
and then he pulled up with the shoes and the whole tracksuit. Like, damn. I said, what you getting? Money?
You thought he was Ace Boogie out here.
Yeah, they definitely they weren't supposed to. Once they finally got hit, it's probably about the third release that, you know what I'm saying, we started volunteering to do the shipment all of a sudden. So by the third release, they like, it got up to the register. And like you said, it wasn't scanning. They like, what's going on with this? And then somebody got hot and was like, what are these shoes? It's not even scanning. And then the guy was like, okay, guys, you can't buy it before a certain time, because like literally we was walking around with the shoe, and like I said, the shoe wasn't supposed to. This was unheard of back in '99. That you walking around with the shoe a month before it's supposed
where you
to
get
come
them
out.
from? Where you get them from?
Okay, that's supposed to throw the probably closed
Hey,
down.
Now hold up, is it still a sports authority?
Nah, they all closed down.
All of them gone.
They all closed down.
It's not Models.
Right.
Y'all don't know she's been over the whole time. The whole show talking about sports store in Heck Jamal. Nah, it's in Heck Jamal. It's Models.
That's that's like
You know all the sports stores went out of business.
They just went bankrupt.
Yeah, they
That's
went out
because
of
the jerseys cost $175. That's why they went bankrupt. You can't buy no replica jerseys for $175.
All the grandpa buying.
Glasses on. You can't keep doing that. Somebody.
Raise them up there.
Raise them up.
Yeah, man, look, I can't see the lines in the street if I don't have my glasses on, man. I'll be all over the place, man.
Y'all watch out for penalties if you drive with no glasses, man.
That's only at night and the day I can't see.
I understand.
Yeah. I can see at dusk.
So fast forward.
After y'all stop stealing shoes.
Steal anything we pay.
That was illegal. No, that was legal stealing.
No, legal stealing. Finesse 99.
Yeah, the finesse 99 stealing.
Finesse 99. Then y'all went legal. So when y'all go legal? After 99?
When we start playing ball after work in the store. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, if you play ball, you deserve to have some Jordans early in the release. You play ball, dog?
Yeah,
What high school you went to?
Roosevelt.
Okay.
Oh,
When
man.
you graduate?
99.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know Khalida?
I'm bad with names, man.
Khalida Washington play ball.
It's
I probably know her face.
2020. You 1999.
Hey, hold on. I got a story though, man. Like someone, encountered someone like a couple of days ago, and they was like, "Hey, you went to school with me?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, well, what year? What? 98, 99? I said, man, that's a blur to me. I can't. You bring back like it got to something that really happens
That's
that
what I'm
sticks
saying.
out.
She was a star
When you
athlete,
say
that's what I'm
99, 98, that's a blur. Like,
That's what you gotta ask. What did you do in high school?
yeah.
Cause I was cool, so I don't know. If we hung on the same circle, you might have been over there in the corner somewhere while I was doing my thing.
Now, trust me, with my profession of being a lead mic, I feel as though, like, unless I know you from back in the day, like, I'm horrible with names because I got to know everybody else. That, every week I got you from where, and then the cell phone in my face, and it's
So how do you deal with that then? Like all the people, all the different neighborhoods, like everything you got to remember and where they're from, because you got to visually, like like him when he been going to backyard so long they know when they see him. Like,
that's
how do you do
that
when you see somebody that might have been there once or twice?
Just break that down to him. I was going to tell him how you got started. How long you been doing it, man?
I love it. I love the music. I love the band.
I got started with, I mean, of course, in high school I was doing the band thing, but in Maryland it was a lot of, hood beef. Like Glenn was beefing with this one, and I was
all
good
in the same school, right?
Yeah, I was good to go in any neighborhood because I never was with no drama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I love to have a good time and just have, party. I mean, back then I wasn't drinking, smoking, or nothing. I was just about sports, and I just had a good time, and I love go-go. So when I got into the band life back then, and then I started seeing all these people getting beat up and all that, I was like, I left it alone because I was like, this is how y'all gonna do it. I'll go back on the other side and just, go see the bands instead of being in the band, and I gotta deal with, are we gonna make it out this neighborhood because I'm good, but y'all not good because y'all beefing because y'all from this. Like I wasn't doing that. So when the opportunity came back to me, I was going to see Backyard Heavy. Like when I graduated in '99, I was supposed to go to Eastern Shore. Messed up my housing situation, so I ended up having to go to PG. So when I went to PG, that's how I started working at Sports Authority. That's how we connected. And all I did, since I didn't go off to school, was now I'm, I done graduated, we just partying. Work, school, party. And, my love came back because I used to go see Backyard all the damn time. Like it was, if they played 6 days out the week, we was there, every show. So finally, we got going so many times. I was like, a couple of dudes that I was, forming relationships with outside of the people that I grew up with, because everybody else has gone to school, gone away. The other guys, they like, man, we need one of us to represent and get up on the stage with back. And I'm like, I used to do that. They look at me, no, you didn't. I'm like, nah, seriously, I used to do that. So one road trip, we went to North Carolina. They played at one of the homecomings down there. So when we got out there, I told G, I was like, let me get on a groove, and he was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? He's one of them dudes that, if you say you got it, he gonna let you.
Was that A&T homecoming?
A&T, yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was at A&T that year.
Yeah, that was my first time ever getting on with Backyard.
I remember that. I remember that night.
My man Ricky was out there because he was playing football. He was running through the crowd acting like a fool and all.
I remember that night. I remember that night. I went to A&T that year.
Okay, yeah.
What year was that?
That was like 2000.
It had to be like
2003.
Yeah.
And when
I
did
think it was 02.
Had your
02,
first
yeah,
experience
02.
with the go-go band? Like, because you said you had already did it. When was your first experience? And what was that with?
That was with the band in high school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that was a short-lived
Go-go
situation.
band,
No, the band, they kept on trying to go, but I didn't stay with them long because of all the drama that was going on.
Did you do lead mic for them?
Nah, I was singing.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why it'd be funny now because, through the years, I finally came back to assisting with the vocals. Okay. And the people like, oh, you sing? And it's like, I can hold it down, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, it's just always just been something that was there. And then, like I said, after that year, A&T, that's when I was like, all right, bet. I like this again. I'm feeling this. And I started getting on with UCB. And I just, after that, it finally was awarded to me a band and just do my own situation.
Did you graduate from A&T or what did you
No. We used to just, like I said, because we were home. All of us were home going to school, either at PG or a couple of people that was going to Bowie State and all that. We used to hit the road
to see the band.
Because I had a condo
around
the corner from where Coop stayed, Backyard's old manager, Marlowe Towers. That was my first little spot. So he was like, hey, you know, we about to go out of town. You know, blah, blah, blah. And if one of us or a couple of us didn't ride with them, you know, we would just follow the line and go out of town. And Hampton's homecoming. We just wanted to get away from this area on the weekends, and that was something, you know what I'm saying, that was, you know.
Just young having fun.
Yeah.
I remember the days, like, if we'd get off work sometimes, and I wasn't rolling with them heavy like you talking with the go-go thing, just getting off work, and we, man, ride with me. He go get his cousin. One day we got off work once, so I still don't know where we went that day. I don't even know if you remember what I'm talking about. Somebody's apartment, you went and picked up Cuzzo, we went to somebody's apartment, and I don't even know, we were just in there lunching. I don't even know.
We probably went over to my man Frank's house because that was the little go-to spot back then, Frank's house. But yeah, I mean, like I said,
everybody just laughed.
Everybody was just all the way over there. But like I said, once it got afforded to me to actually do the band thing again, it was actually asked for me to manage. My little brothers wanted to do a band, and then you know, they knew that all me and my homies, all we did was just go out. So they like, man, we want to do a band. I was like, all right, well, you know, let me know when you get it together. So I came to my father's house and I pulled up down the street. The whole neighborhood is in the backyard of my father's house. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So like, I get downstairs, like these fools done had a whole house party with, they done got drums set up, congos, you know, timbales, everything. And their practice became like, this is the party. So I was like, first of all, we ain't disrespecting Dad's house. You know, you can't do, everybody can't be here. But if y'all want to get serious with it, this is what we're going to do. So we ended up moving into the next door neighbor's house. Because I knew the next door neighbor's house, that father wasn't letting everybody come into the house. So, you know, they assembled everybody that was, you know, really talented musically and everything. Because mind you, these are all like seniors. I'm graduated. Most of these kids are all seniors or whatever. Like 2 of them was out of school or whatever already as well. But, you know, I would come down to the practices and then I would have to, I coach basketball now. So even when I coach basketball, I don't just tell a kid what to do. I show them. Yeah. So same thing with this. I was like, ho, stop. Y'all not going to embarrass, you know, this is what you do. And it got to the point where it was like, you need to just be the lead mic. And I was like, nah, I ain't got time. Like, you know, I'm about to hopefully leave for school in a little bit. You know, I don't have time. So, you know, they pressed me. I was like, all right, I'll do it for a little bit. But I had to be honest with everybody. I was like, everybody can't make it. Because even at that stage, at that time, like, you had to have a good unit of musicians. So, you know, it was hard to tell, you know, the little kid that been grinding, hey, you just ain't gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? So once that happened and we really locked in and found a unit, then my homies, they, you know, started coming up and it was like, all right, well, we got this other dude that does this. And it really formed into something that really sounded good. That's when we took the first show. And our first show that we took was with TCB. And it was at the Mad Chef. And it was in May. It was in May of 2005. That was the first show that we took. And the first show, we was the first band. And it was like 6 bands on that show. So when we pulled up, you know, Big Vic and everybody, they looking at me like, what the hell you doing here so early, Doc? I'm like, I'm about to play. You know, Big Vic used to run the Black Hole and all that. And so he's looking like, you got a band? I'm like, yeah. So all the security that have been knowing us from partying all these years, they like, you know, this is crazy. Doc and all them backwood dudes, they ain't here. They about to perform. So we performed, and then, you know, afterwards we left because, you know, TCB was the headline. We want to go see back. I get a phone call the next morning. Polo hit me. He was like, Doc, you got a band? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, I heard y'all was cranking last night. And I was like, you know, that was our first show. And he was like, man, everybody, was really impressed, and plus y'all played congos, because even though during that time timbales was heavy, I'm traditional. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear congos more than I want to hear timbales. So he was like, "We definitely gonna work with y'all." Then after that, it just became like a super blur of. I feel as though at one point in time we played damn near as much as the big bands, because by the time, me and Foots was working when they shut down Sports Authority, I ended up managing Last Stop. So they had moved me to Landover. That's where I learned. And then after that, I ended up, they had me managing Wheaton. Then they had me at Greenbelt for a little bit. And they finally left me at Iverson. So when they left me at Iverson, that was the hub. Last Stop was like, anything and everything for everybody back then. So everybody who was anybody was coming through there. So a promoter named Mike Nice, he came through, and he was like, of course he was trying to ask for the discount. And I'm like, hey, I heard you still doing the promotion thing real heavy. And he was like, yeah, I got this spot called Safari Steakhouse, and I'm gonna do backyard on Sundays. And I was like, well, I got my band, look out. And I look out. And he was like, is your band good? I was like, I think we are. Like, yeah. So next thing you know, he put us in there. And then after that, it was just, it never stopped. It never stopped from that match.
Did he get the discount?
Huh?
Did he get the discount?
Oh, yeah.
So hold on. First off, y'all need to make sure y'all go see the Black Fashion.
Oh, it's lovely.
It is lovely. It's a different type of frame. They can give you whatever you want, but it's most definitely grown and sexy every single time.
Every time.
So, I mean, I ain't want to cut you off.
No.
Nice.
Nah, trust me, because it started from, like I said, we started in the time frame that we actually started planning everything. We played with TCB twice a week, and we played with Backyard twice a week. So we had to be really heavy on the timbales as well. But once I got to a certain point, like, I'm getting older. All the people that surrounded me in the band, we all getting older. Listen got real hot. And all the females, all the dudes that I knew that was my age, that's where they was going. So I told the band in 2008, I was like, man, we need to try something different, because it wasn't no stopping Polo. And what he had created with the bounce beat, Backyard was on that rise to where we used to be pressed to go see RE because you weren't old enough. Now Backyard is becoming that. It's like, man, we gotta figure out a lane, because if we don't, we're gonna get left in the wind, because all these other bands is struggling trying to be TCP, trying to be Backyard, and there's no way you getting that. It's not happening.
That's why I say create that own lane, like your Black Alley, like this. When you in that mood, that's what you want to. This that chill vibe. Like, you don't want to hear the bounce beat right now. I want to hear this type of groove chill.
I have to do this in this moment, because otherwise, like them goddamn fans from the stands, like what they've done with the WGN. They got next, like, not cutting you off. I'm just saying, like, it's a wealth of bands with different sounds and different feels in different places. Not just in DC, but Maryland, Virginia.
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Shout out to Baby, the one band, Re-Up. Like, I mean, they out here. We just got it lit. MAB, Rise. I don't but everybody, man, they out here. Like, they really out here.
We got next competition
coming up. The WGNs, again, shout out to them goddamn friends from the stands, because they open the doors and shine a light on a lot of different bands with a lot of different sounds. And go-go isn't what it used to be, where everybody, like you said, is just chasing one sound or one group of bands or whatever the case is. Everybody's finding their own lane, their own sound, making their own music. Man, give it a shot. That's what I say, man. Give it a shot.
You know what? So remember when we were younger? I remember when I first moved around Florida Avenue. You know the first thing I remember? My first memory around in 1985 was Junkyard on buckets, not in the park, but across the street. In that park. I remember my first day moving around there.
With the white buckets.
With the white buckets. And I remember saying, like, what is this? I remember going around there. And I remember that the older bands so they had their own songs. And then they kind of went to, like, radio. Everybody did a radio thing. Now everybody coming back to doing their own songs. So, and like you said, I'm a Congo lover. Me and him had an argument, a discussion the other day. You starting the band. You need a conga player.
Mm-hmm.
You got whoever. What is his name? Stuck on Mickey. You got to pick one for your conga player.
Mickey or who?
See, that's the
Smoke.
thing. I always talk about this, and this shows if you really love go-go.
Yeah.
I know so many fights that used to almost happen at lunchtime about who's the best conga player, who's the best drummer, and that stuff. To this day, I still won't answer certain things because we all know who the GOAT is. Mm-hmm. But we also have our favorite because of the age group that we are in.
Right.
That you can. I wasn't there to see RE, you know, in their prime, you know, at the Black Hole and all these other, you know, spots. I was, you know, that wasn't my. I was there for Backyard though. You know what I'm saying? Every Friday I was, you know what I'm saying?
That's our
You know, Thursdays I was at the Met. You know what I'm saying? Like I could name every single spot, even down to like when Raw Image got hot. You know what I'm saying? I was there. I know. You know.
Shout out to Six, my man.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't. This is just a generational thing. At the end of the day, we all know Mickey is the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
I told you that.
But
I told you that.
outside of him being the greatest of all time, there's still some
take
guys up
away
under
from
him.
him. That's why you're not supposed to compare.
Like I can literally
Take
just
away.
listen to Smoke on the congos. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Hand speed is amazing. Everything he does, but it's just something about Mickey that.
But that butt takes away. You can't say the butt after giving something.
We don't worry about my butt.
Not just that.
Okay. You just went on.
Like you said, you take greatness from somebody. We ain't doing
Actually, you know how I really got into go-go? Winksy used to live on R Street on the other side, right? So we was just running around wild, young in the neighborhood. He was around there talking to Big Los. May he rest in peace, Big Los.
Rest in peace, Big Los.
And we ran up. And Los was like, look at these little motherfuckers. Like, they just out here. Like, and Winksy was just like, man, come up the Black Hole, see back Friday. I said, all right, bet. And I was going every Friday since.
And Nutty also the only one of us who didn't go to Donnie went to Dozo, so.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
You went to a subpar school. What you mean what's wrong with that?
For real.
Hey, y'all ain't had nothing. Y'all ain't winning football, basketball. I think y'all had a good chess team. Y'all had an amazing chess team.
Championship in 96. Yeah.
I was gone.
Championship in 96. Don't do that.
Y'all the Double Dutch champions in 96.
Greats came out of those.
Oh, y'all had my man Ergy, my man Ergy up there.
Ergy, Moochie.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
They had some
talent.
players,
What you talking about?
I was already gone by then. My years, they wasn't no good.
And
My years, you know what? Matter of fact, when I went to school, you know what you used to do for homecoming? That's the team we would always pick. So you could blow them off 56-0.
and I used to be done by my Cadoza jersey.
Hey, your sister went to school with us. Your sister went to school with us.
It don't matter.
Anywho.
It don't matter.
He was protected.
The show at City Winery with Rhea, which was a big move.
Yeah.
That was real swaggy.
What happened recently? We playing every Friday at a venue locally, and it just was time to do something different. You know, the owner, he wanted different demands. We wanted different demands, and it was one of those eye openers right there that I told the band. I was like, we got complacent, and when we got complacent, we weren't looking to do bigger and better things. We was just kind of sitting around waiting for other things to happen. So when that happened, it was like, all right, let's reevaluate some things. And when I reevaluated the things, I was like, we need to go on a tour of things that are way better than what we had just gotten complacent with. I'm not knocking staying, you know, at certain venues weekly and getting that bag or whatever, you know, you call it. But sometimes you need an eye opener. So as soon as this happened, we sat home for a week and a half. And then the phone calls came in after. This is after we had just won Grown and Sexy Band of the Year at the We Got Next award.
That's I like that.
So it was like, damn, how the hell we just win a award like this, and now we sitting at home? But it was God's intervention.
Yeah.
He wanted us to calm down, step back, spend some time with family, regroup, and figure out what we want to do.
Right.
First phone call was St. Eve's, downtown. Beautiful club. Second phone call was City Winery. After that, Bliss called. After Bliss, Saks. So
March 22nd.
Yeah, and then the Miami Takeover, we finally signed our deal with that. So I told the band right then and there, I was like, I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but I'm not saying we was in a hole in the wall, but we were in places that on a weekly basis, the average person, whether they're a friend, family, or a fan, they're not going to want to come there every week. They may come once a month, they may come twice a month. But when we started rolling out, we're going to be playing at Saks on the 22nd. I sold tickets for that before I even had it. People, can I just cash app you? And when you get the tickets, you let me know. Same thing with City Winery. The tickets for that, I didn't even have to say anything. People just wanted to be in those types of environments.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about it like, it goes back to 2008 when I told the band, look what Listen is doing for the go-go culture. It's the same thing now. Our people, our age group, I'm 38, you just turned 38. When we do come out, we want to feel like my car's going to be good outside. You know what I'm saying?
I got to worry about nobody.
I can take my lady.
Like I said,
I ain't got to worry about nobody, you know what I'm saying? Disrespecting my lady, disrespecting myself. I just can have a good time if I want to sit down, you know? Yeah. So all of that played in the factor where it was like the shows that was coming in were making the most sense for us to move forward.
Especially behind that grown and sexy feel. The venue definitely lines
have to fit that.
You know what I mean? Okay, everybody started in a hole in the wall, but that come out, like you said, that's like basement to penthouse. You know?
That's how you evolve.
You deserve it.
But
you deserve
we
it.
still gonna stay true to like the video that you just saw. That was us at Aqua, and I greatly appreciate Red Essence and Epic Concepts. You know, they do something for us once a month. I started with them when we really got back into pushing everything. Epic Concepts had us with Backyard at Ibiza every Friday, and it definitely was one of them things that it wore out its welcome because, like I said, even at that time when Ibiza was hot, the crowd wasn't my crowd. The street, you know. So
we all know what across the street was.
From that, and it was like, all right, we gotta figure something else out and let somebody else, like TOB or somebody else, get this spot. To open up, and we gotta go do something else. We still kept a great rapport with Epic Concepts because we was like, look, we may not play with Backyard every week, big shows or something that'll be perfect, but find us with this RE. I want to get with that crowd because that crowd is a little bit older than me, but they still that crowd that if they like something, they gonna gravitate to it. So they definitely been looking out for us with that. So once a month, we definitely been going down to Aqua, and it's been a great situation down there.
So with the Saks situation, first off, again, shout out to Black Alley.
Yeah.
Love it.
Another Roosevelt Raider, Casey.
So we definitely in the building.
Okay.
Because we gonna link with Pre and them situation, so we'll definitely be there for that. But tell us a little bit about that, because tickets still available, right?
Yeah, tickets are still available. It's two big promotion companies, Zeke Entertainment, Zeke Productions, and his partner SGS Los, and then the Roy Boys. They partnered together. They did Saks last month with Team Familiar, or Still Familiar. That's their new name. And then when they announced this show, we definitely spoke to him because Zeke does a show called Blackish every year. This is our third year that we've done it. And this year, 2019, we actually headlined it for once. The first year was Black Alley and us, and we opened. And the second year was Kim and Scooby and us, and we opened. So this third year that they did it, they said, "Nah, Black Passion got a headline," and it was a great situation. But Zeke has really been pulling for us, because at the end of the day, you know how it is in the city. It's hard to get somebody to buy into or believe that. Give this a shot.
We just talked about
you know what I'm
that
saying?
last week.
Yeah.
We were talking about how growing up, not even consciously, but like the OGs kind of embedded in a certain thing. So we grew up a backyard. Backyards out there. So it wasn't necessarily you hate the Brewers or you hate Essence. It's just like, nah, man.
Yeah, backyard is our bag. We Northwest, that's your bag. That's
like
your area.
You had your own for I went to school with like Mikey, Trey, all of them.
Yeah.
So, they had y'all doing. I gotta go support.
Yeah,
You grow into that.
But even with that, we always because of that, it's like a loyalty thing.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go see my man. Look, he doing.
Eventually, I wanted to see. I wanted to get the feel from other bands too, because I was going to see Junkyard back in the day too.
Yeah.
They was at the Icebox.
Yeah.
I remember when they hit Rough It Off and that, we broke the kitty pool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even though we was accustomed to what was on outside, I really wanted to get a feel for everything. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I told everybody. What made me diverse when it came to my lead talking. Being as though I was from Maryland, my cousins were Southeast, so that's who pulled me off the porch, and that's where I went to go see Backyard with every Friday. I'm talking about lying to my mom. Yeah, we just taking them. We just going, and we at the black hole. You know what I'm saying? All wrong. But that was on Friday nights. On Saturday, like I said, I'm a Maryland guy. I'm staying in Maryland. I'm with everybody that went to Roosevelt. We gone to go see Groovers at the Icebox. You know what I'm saying? So of course, you go see. You had to go see Junkyard.
You had to.
And then by the time I got of age, I was geeked to get inside that classic to see RE, just because you knew that's where all the old heads were at. You know what I'm saying? That's where they was at. I remember, we felt like, we can all get up in that joint. Come on. I was the youngest. I had a late birthday. We got up to that door. That state trooper was like, nah, get out this line. I'm like, come on, man. I'm trying to finesse him with the money and everything. Nah. And I just remember sitting out in front of that class because I had to wait. And I'm looking at everybody in there having a good time. I was like, I couldn't wait to be able to get into it. So you definitely, to me, I definitely had to be diverse. And even with UCB, I knew them through Fry. They call them Mooley.
Yeah.
Basketball, that's all I used to do. So, all the summer camps and all the little leagues and everything, me and him always either was on a team or played together. Yeah. So when he said he had this band, I'm like, all right, bet. The funny thing was how I actually met them before he, had explained this whole band thing. We had this league that we played in. Mm-hmm. So we had already beat the brakes off Mooley's team. He played for Largo. I think it was their county team, whatever. So he shows up the next time that we play him, and it's all these dudes. First of all, you could tell, these uptown dudes. You looking like these dudes ain't from Maryland.
You definitely
from back in the day. Back in the day, that's how you know
like 17.
That's different.
We like 17, 16, and 17.
You definitely can
tell. They danked out. They'd have been drinking before. It's like, Sean, who are these dudes? You know what I'm saying? Oh, nah. They from around here. I'm like, bro, I ain't never seen these guys in my life. You know what I'm saying? Full beers and all right. So we ended up playing. But the funny thing was, they could all individually play. Individually. But this is team sports. So we start smoking their boots. And then, of course, we ended up winning. They started collapsing because, somebody was heisting and all that. But right after the game. Nah, he wasn't.
Oh, okay. I just know.
But after the game,
saying 37 shots a game.
I started talking to a couple of guys, and they was like, yeah, we from uptown, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You need to come check out our band. It's like, well, what's the band? And he was like, UCB. And I'm like, all right, cool. Then as soon as, they started rolling around with the shows and everything, definitely because of Mooley, got involved in our whole camp, and it's still to this day. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rock Mike. He's still doing it.
Yeah.
He got the band playing tonight at Felicity's. You know what I'm saying? I went down there last Sunday to check him out, party with him.
Yeah, I went to school with both.
Yeah,
Rock Mike's my man.
Yeah. Both with those too.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Go-Go. It's just funny how sometimes it come together, but definitely being diverse and being able to go see everybody. And I tell everybody to this day, I'm still learning. You know, I ain't never gonna say, I don't care what anybody says about my style. Oh, you good? You don't need nah. You gotta be.
Listen to improve. Just retirement party. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there too.
I know John was lovely.
Did you see Stevie?
You went too?
Yeah, I went. That John was lovely.
Yeah, I was in there. That John was a nice show. Nice women, nice Stevie Wonder.
That John was lovely.
He actually, D. Floyd recently just hit me up, and he's about to be working with us on some things coming up. And just to get that phone call and to hear the stuff that he had to say about me, and it's coming from him. Like, you know, I remember watching The Box, looking at this guy work the walls, like, you know, dang.
You know he fired Diddy? He put Diddy off the group?
Yeah.
That's dope. Okay.
You know how, you know, when he was going through his retirement, he telling you on his face when he was going through that. I didn't know that when I'm like, damn, he put Diddy out. No bull. Hey, that's big. That's big. That is big. That's big. That's big. I love it. I love it.
So let me present him with a t-shirt. So, on behalf of the ABX family, coming with us, our guest, that's Witchcraft, the DC Go-Go t-shirt. So that's one of the old posters. You know how they used to do? Yeah, the old posters. Yeah. So he, you know, kind of mashed it up and put everybody
Shout out to Mom too.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Definitely appreciate it. Besides to perfect for you. So
and y'all make sure, man, y'all go online right now. Black Passion Experience. www.theblackpassionexperience.com. Get y'all tickets for that show for Sax on Sunday, March 22nd.
What time the show?
So it's a day party. What you hook up, you know, like you did.
Oh, can you do the sports
sports authority hook up?
Sports authority
Sports authority shut down. I want to shout out to Alex, man. You sold me that $800 Jeep Cherokee. It was the limit.
$800 worth of limit. And you thought you was gonna get you something.
He said that was a get back for all the shoes.
He took the whole.
You thought you gonna be riding around.
You ain't get no discount for real. He ain't get no discount. He paid for him at the end.
Right. Man, I appreciate it. Wait. Y'all want to ask Doc anything?
Oh yeah, man. Tell the people they can find you at too, man.
Oh yeah. Like you said, we got a website, theblackpassionband.com. If you want tickets for the Sax, you can hit me up 240-380-7720. We can do a cash app, and I'll make sure I bring the ticket straight to you. But we got the Facebook page, Black Passion Experience. The IG is Black Passion Experience. The Twitter is Black Passion Band, BLK Passion Band. We on all social media platforms. And the great thing about the website, when you go to the website, you can get a free CD download. As soon as you get on there, all you gotta do is just log on. Our SoundCloud is embedded. Our YouTube page is embedded. The calendar of events is all embedded. And, you know, everything is right there for you. So, you know, pictures of the band, so you know who's who, everything. It's really laid out. Shout out to Creative Consulting for they created our website and they host it as well. Creative Designs Consulting. Anybody need a website, definitely holler at them. They've been holding us down. That's one of the big things that have kept us getting, I guess you could say, a bigger magnitude of shows is the professional appearance of certain things like that. And, you know, I tell all the bands that's out here now, invest into your unit.
Did you start out like that, or did like as you progress and grew, deals came to you different? You know?
Definitely had to progress. You know, it was one of them things. Like the great thing about my story is I was able to be around people like Coop. With Backyard and see what he was doing. I was able to be around Butler from Raw Image and see what he was doing. I was able to be around Ben and Polo to see what they were doing. And so, granted, I never really had the financial that they had, but when you watch somebody and you pick up that business acumen that they had with the street knowledge that they also had, when it was time to start advancing, you know, it was time to advance. And then, you know, that's how things really worked out for me. And shout out to my man Uno Boss. Me and him, when I did leave the band, Black Passion has been my band since day one. But when I left to do a different situation, I partnered up with Uno Boss, Kevin Blackman.
I went to school with Kevin. We played ball together. Yeah.
And everybody that know him, he's a hell of a producer.
Definitely.
Chuck's Grammy nominated song, he wrote. He wrote everything on that album except one song, but of course the one that was Grammy nominated, he wrote that. But just watching business stuff with him, you know, just made you really be like, all right.
Really get yours in order.
Okay. Well, before we end, I did not know we got some Raiders that just popped in. So can y'all step in here for a second?
Come on in.
You better call before you come. Then that pop up out the blue.
They heard the bell ring. Capri and Miss Gigi, the goddamn fan from the stands.
Capri.
There she goes. She can try to act like she ain't.
We got that.
What's up?
Them fans from the stand.
But we appreciate y'all. Hey, y'all.
What's going on?
So, so we kind of gotta get up out of here, right? I'm assuming so.
Time to go.
So I want to quickly say, man, first and foremost, shout out to the whole Black Passion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And again, shout out to the
Goddamn fans.
I'm not sure we would be here talking to Doc right now. Well, I mean, I knew Doc prior to. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I do got a question for Doc for you. Who is your all-time lead?
Great question.
Like I said, and I've said this, I've said this plenty of times before, and I stick to it. And we all know who the GOAT is. And to me, the GOATs are Funk, Bugs. Those are the GOATs. Yeah. But then under that, on my favorite because of what I grew up experiencing, and who constantly gives me, you know, that thing I need to evolve. I need to try something else. I need to do this.
Right.
It's been G.
Okay.
Because when I jumped out there and did my radio show, it was because I was watching him do 93.9. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then even down to the acting and everything.
Yeah, that man.
He's just done so much stuff that he's thought outside the box to the point where when he's getting ready to, you know, slow down with the music thing, if he ever does,
he gotta
he's going to have some
not doubt it.
fall back on some
residual
income, you know what I'm saying, from being on syndicated situations and, you know, movies and so on and so forth. So it's definitely been him because he's just been a unique, different person on the microphone. He's not your traditional lead talker. And I tell everybody that all the time. He's not the grunter. Everybody feels as though you got, like, that's great. I love it. But he was somebody that didn't do that. He led the band a different way. So that's just, he laid back. We got another, you know.
Shout out to G and back
drive to him. So, you know, it's definitely been him. But it still takes nothing away from the guys that I feel as though are GOATs. Rapper dude. That dude is another person that I feel as though is a living legend. And there's people that people don't even really get to know and see as far as, you know, your Dapper Daves and, you know,
Tony Blunt.
It's a lot of other guys out here
Tony Blunt?
that rock that lead mic that you may not see them as much as they used to, but, you know.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. Oh man, I got
no, he was with side by side, man.
I know,
Police side by side. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Elementary
though. She used to give him their shirts. That's where the shirts came from.
He definitely played with the side by side.
Next week we got
the
AC
drums.
Sliders, a food truck pulling up.
Early.
We
got
all day until we out of here to go to Saks. So he'll be here at 12 o'clock in the afternoon until we roll out. We also have Miss Realtor Tiffany Lewis coming in to talk about real estate, home buying, blah, blah, blah. We're going to wrap it up and talk, do what we do. So y'all know we love y'all. Get it out of driven, all up and nothing. Abstrakt Xcilence, ABX.
When it's
Shit.
Oh, ready today. Got a little sticks in the play, boots. Good night. Winter season.
Thank you.